Bring you back to our developing story right now, which is the unrest unfolding in several parts of Johannesburg, including in the north in Alexandra Township, where we understand several shops have been looted. Police officers have been injured in some instances, and we understand one officer in particular has been shot and is being rushed to hospital. For the latest on the situation on the ground, let's bring in Brigadier Mathapelo Peters. She speaks for the police and joins us now via our telephone line. And Brigadier, I'm sure you're as concerned as many people watching the situation as it unfolds. What are you able to tell us about what's happened specifically in Alex?
Good morning, Ayanda. Yes, indeed, we are concerned, but our police have been on the ground since last night. We actually responded to incidents of violence in Jeppe as well as Alexandra, where businesses were looted. A group of people targeted businesses. They forced entry and they looted. We were, however, able to arrest a total of 62. This is including the 37 that were arrested in KwaZulu-Natal.
Do you know the circumstances that led to the officer being shot in Alex?
I didn't hear that, sorry.
I'm just asking if you can tell us a bit more about the circumstances surrounding the shooting of the officer in Alexandra. We're getting information that one officer at least is currently being rushed to hospital.
That was during the middle of the night when police were responding to these incidents of looting at one of the malls in Alexandra. One of our police members was shot and he sustained serious injuries, for which he was rushed to hospital, and we are happy that he is now in a stable condition. There were also two other members, police members, who were injured, but they were attended to on the scene, and they are okay. So obviously you can see that some of these people are even armed with live ammunition. Right.
There's also now confirmation, Brigadier, that one person has actually died in the unrest. Do you know anything about that?
Well, at this stage, police were only alerted at around 4 o'clock in the early hours of this morning about a person that was dead and had actually been certified dead at a local clinic. So there is an investigation underway into this death to determine exactly what the circumstances were. So at this stage, we are unable to confirm how the person was shot and killed.
But this is also in Alexandra?
That is also in Alexandra.
Sure. The obvious question is, what underpins this unrest? Has your intelligence able to help you answer that question?
Well, at this stage, it's all up on speculation, but we have been told by some of our sources that these are somehow linked to the protests that started in KZN, where people were protesting about the incarceration of the former state president. But for now, as the police, ours is to really focus on the criminality that emanates from this. So we do have our intelligence on the ground, also as a preventative measure.
Yeah. Take us through the hotspot areas, if you can. I mean, Alex, sharply in focus for obvious reasons. We have our reporters in parts of the city center in Johannesburg. Is that also where you're focusing?
Well, at this stage, as I indicated earlier, that we responded to incidents in Jeppe's town, as well as in Alexandra, and then there was a group that we believe came from Alexandra and then ran to Bramley. So, but we are on high alert because I'm sure you would have noticed during the week there were threats of violent protests that were being circulated all over social media. So we are not focusing solely on one area, but we are trying to make it just have a provincial overview.
There are live visuals on our screen now showing police still very much, as you've mentioned, on alert as the situation unfolds. Do you get a handle that at least you are able to control the unrest at the very least at the moment?
Well, police are doing the best that they can, and we are actually worried because, like I said earlier on, when you are dealing with whether protesters or an angry mob of people who are armed with live ammunition, at some point we are afraid that police might have to retaliate and respond, and we do not want to get into a situation where there are people who lose their lives or even serious injuries. For instance, like the one police officer that sustained serious injuries yesterday. So if we could help it, we would really not be having these things, but unfortunately we need to respond as the South African Police Service.
Yeah, and very quickly, as a matter of clarity, this one fatality that we know of so far, as far as you're concerned, that's a protester who was killed?
Well, at this stage, the identity of the person has been determined already, and it does appear as if he was amongst the protesters.
All right. Brigadier Mathapelo Peters, thanks very much indeed for telling us what you can. Really concerning situation unfolding as you and I speak this Sunday morning. I wonder at which stage things will end as we watch the news cycle continue to unfold for the week ahead. But